This is MAN 558, Organizational Psychology, and today we are going to talk about organizational attitudes and work-life balance. So let's start with organizational attitudes. An attitude is an evaluative tendency to respond to some specific object, situation, person, or category of people. From this definition, we can see that the individual's belief and values forms the attitude which is likely to lead to behavior towards an object, situation, or a person. Clearly, attitudes relating to job satisfaction, organizational commitment, organizational citizenship, behavior, and organizational justice perception can have a critical effect, positive and negative, on employee performance and work behavior. First, job satisfaction. Job satisfaction refers to a collection of attitudes that people have about their jobs, more specifically in relation to the content and the context of the job. The content includes challenging assignments and opportunities for growth, whereas job context includes compensation and benefits, co-workers and supervisors, working climate, and so on. What are the factors which contribute to job satisfaction? Clearly, the individual's beliefs and values play a critical role in our understanding of notion of job satisfaction, which can be viewed in two ways. First, satisfaction derives from receiving what one desires. For example, individuals experience job satisfaction when the job content offers challenging assignments and opportunities for growth that they desire and seek. Second, job satisfaction derives from receiving what one perceives should be received. For example, individuals experience job satisfaction when the compensation they receive is fair, that is equitable. What are the consequences of job satisfaction? They include the employee's involvement in work, which results in reduced absenteeism, reduced turnover, and enhanced job performance. Enhanced job satisfaction leading to workers' involvement in their jobs significantly contributes to organizational effectiveness. And organizational commitment. This is an attitude that reflects the strength of the linkage between an employee and an organization. It moves beyond passive loyalty to an organization and is the result of a strong belief in an organization's goals and values and willingness to exert considerable effort for the organization and a strong desire to maintain membership in the organization. Several meta-analyses found significant relationships of effective commitment with low employee turnover, low absenteeism, high job performance, low incidence case of counterproductive work behavior, and organizations' ability to attract, retain, and motivate key talent. And this is organizational citizenship behavior. This is entirely voluntary and spontaneous behavior that goes beyond the call of duty to provide assistance, support, and cooperation to address the unexpected needs of a college and to cope with the frustrations that are inevitable in organizational life. It entails employee behaviors such as altruism, conscientiousness, sportsmanship, courtesy, and civic virtue. Organizational justice perception. Employees' perception of organizational justice mainly concerns the following types of justice. First, distributive justice. Perception of justice concerning distribution of resources. An employee perceives the outcomes they receive are fair if the ratio of the employee's outcome, such as pay or status, to inputs, such as effort or time, are equal to the ratio of outcomes to inputs of the comparable other in the workplace. And second, procedural justice. Perception of justice concerning the procedures in the organizations. An employee perceives justice if the decision-making procedures are applied consistently across people and across time, free from bias and based on accurate information. And interactional justice. Perception of justice, reflecting the quality of interpersonal treatment during the implementation of formal procedures. As is the case in other employee attitudes, justice perception is influenced by both individual and the organizational factors. And another important area is involvement and alienation. According to the Cunningham model, involvement and alienation are cognitive beliefs about one's self-image in relation to a specific context. Involvement is related to the extent to which one identifies oneself with the context. For example, if a person is highly involved in the family context, then that person will identify with the family context. Such identification makes that person think of themselves as a family person. Similarly, if a person is highly involved in the work context, then they will identify themselves with the role of the work context, such as a mechanist, bookkeeper, manager, lawyer, or a doctor. Alienation, on the other hand, is the cognitive state of separation from a context. Thus, the Cunningham model defines involvement as the extent to which one psychologically identifies oneself with a context, and alienation as the extent to which one separates oneself from a context. Involvement, or its opposite, alienation in a given context, develops as a result of two factors. One is the need, saliency, or perceived importance of needs in a given context. For example, in an individual's belongingness, need might be more salient in the family context, whereas their achievement need might be more salient in the work context. The sources of saliency or importance of certain needs in a given context are based perceived potential of the context are all based on 1. Our post-socialization, and 2. Our current assessment on the context or present perceptions of the potential of the context for satisfaction or these salient needs. The other factor which determines involvement or alienation is the perceived potential of the context to satisfy the salient needs and expectations in the future. And another important topic is work-life balance. There are numerous studies showing substantial correlation of work-life imbalance to employees' health problems, as well as organizations' challenge in attracting, keeping, and motivating talent. Work-life imbalance is generally confined to work and family domains and referred to as work-family conflict. Work-family conflict is defined as an inter-role conflict experienced by individuals having difficulties in fulfilling responsibilities in one domain of life, for example family, because of the role pressures in other domain of life, for example work. The case of research showed that stressors in the work and the family domains, especially the feeling of overload, which is the perception that one has too much handle. The case of research showed that stressors in the work and family domains, especially the feeling of overload, which is the perception that one has too much to handle, increase the likelihood of work and family conflict. Social support and personality characteristics help employees buffer the negative effects of work-family conflict. Research also shows that work-family conflict is a serious health hazard. It is associated with high levels of psychological stress and health problems caused by stress. Work-family conflict has negative consequences also for work-related outcomes because it is associated with stress and burnout at work, negative attitudes towards organization, and low job performance. It is important to note that gender differences in the level of work-family conflict are usually found not to be significant, but the association of work-family conflict with the antecedents and outcomes tend to be significant across genders. The life balance model. This model includes 3 domains of life. One is work, and second one is family, and the last one is self. Just like the work and the family domains, the self domain also has demands, such as doing things to please oneself. For example, spending time on hobbies or with friends from college, and to enhance one's health and well-being, like a regular workout and annual checkup, and to develop one's knowledge, skills, and abilities in different areas. For example, attending self-development training other than that related to work. Research suggests that letting work or family interfere with self may have negative psychological health consequences. Employees report high levels of burnout if they experience work to personal life conflict. For example, not being able to spend time on themselves because the demands at work. Experience of family to personal life conflict is associated with high levels of anxiety and low levels of life satisfaction. It appears that life balance can only be achieved if the self is also being attended to. Organizations that help their employees balance work, family, and personal life are those that will attract and keep the best talents in today's global competition. Thank you for listening.